What exactly is Project 2025 and why is it so bad? It's a plan to reshape the federal government in the event of a GOP presidential win in 2024. It would greatly increase the power of the presidency and could be charitably described as fascism light. The biggest part of it is that it makes the president much more powerful within the executive branch. There would no longer be independent agencies that are ostensibly nonpartisan. Like the Department of Justice, everyone works for Trump. Everyone is loyal personally to Trump. And they do exactly what Trump wants, no matter how petty or partisan. Or they get fired. There are a lot of other, conservative wish list ideas in it as well, such as very strong anti-LGBT policies, which are unfortunate on their own, but the presidential power, loyalty thing is the main goal. It's a proposed plan by the Federalist Society, an enormously influential conservative think tank that focuses on finding, training, and electing conservatives into judicial roles in order to control the U.S. court system. It's designed to take effect if a Republican wins the 2024 U.S. presidential election. In short, it's a comprehensive series of actions the executive branch can take to make itself much more powerful, depower oppositional forces, and dramatically change government institutions to force them to operate in a much more conservative, often fascist, manner. This is a bad thing on its face. But it's also carefully constructed to be completely unilateral and nearly irreversible by voting. Basically, the Federalist Society and wider Republican Party know that a lot of what they want to do isn't popular and couldn't win in elections. So they're trying to completely bypass the vote instead. The federal government is run by thousands of bureaucrats and specialists who serve the country, regardless of which party is in control. During the Trump presidency, these workers were an important safeguard for our democracy, as they frequently refused to carry out instructions that were illegal or improper. Project 2025 is a plan floated by a major right-wing think tank which, among other concerning ideas, proposed replacing thousands of these workers with political stooges as soon as another right-wing president takes power. They propose recruiting thousands of potential candidates now, so that they can immediately start this swap in 2025 when the new Republican president would be sworn in. Should they win the 2024 election, this would presumably allow a right-wing president to implement policies more freely, even when those policies were illegal or unconstitutional. Project 2025 is a plan to expand presidential powers and place the entire U.S. federal government under direct presidential control. The plan seeks to eliminate the independence of agencies such as Department of Justice, Federal Communications Commission, and Federal Trade Commission. Project 2025 is organized by the Heritage Foundation. It builds on Heritage's mandate for leadership, which has been influential for presidential administrations since the Reagan era. The mandate for leadership was released in January 1981 as a 20-volume, 3,000-page publication. It contained more than 2,000 suggestions to move the federal government in a conservative direction. TLDR. It's basically a how-to conservative manual to fundamentally change the pillars of the current U.S. system and give all the power to the president. This is not necessarily about Trump, per se. It could be implemented by any conservative president. The quotes above are from Google's AI Recap. You can also watch this video that goes over a section of the 900-page manual. https://9k3uvac5m70 c equals 3qlnmkkc9cnlml3p. Trump's fascist takeover of the U.S. He wants to staff the government with toadies, ignore Congress, pack the courts, and use the military to suppress dissent. He talks about shooting protesters and make theft a capital crime. It's a coup d'état without the violence, mostly. It gives the president the power to outright fire 100,000 of federal workers and replace them with politics appointees that have already been vetted for their right-wing, fascist ideology. This will weaken the federal gov and help pave the way for a dictator to hold on to power. By the way, the plan is to also install generals into the top spota of the military that are also loyal to Republicans, so that they can use the military to hold power. The thing is, both federal employees and military members take an oath to protect the Constitution and the USA. This will change that so that instead they are now loyal to Republicans' president first above all others. Which would you prefer you government and military be loyal to? The Constitution or a political party? Dismantling of everything to make way for chaos and far right-wing nut jobs. Taliban, but the American version. They will try to restructure the government in favor of Trump's ideas. No, he didn't help the economy, and make him dictator. And they'll try to get it to happen so long as they win even one election anywhere in the country. I think it's modeled on Mein Kampf. It's a literal plan to make sure that the next Republican president to get in office is the last time a Democrat holds any office. They plan to purge their version of undesirables from the ranks of government and make sure that they've got a database of people with the right ideology, ready to go to fill the empty vacancies. Here's a lawyer's take on it. Sure, looks like a highly detailed roadmap to installing a Christian fascist monarchy and the systematic eradication of minorities and vulnerable groups. Go watch Handmaid's Tale. Without exaggeration, it's not that far off. Basically the GOP version of the Reichstagsbrandverordnung in conjunction with the Ermächtigungsgesetz. Overarching theme is if you're a federal employee who isn't on board with MAGA, you will be fired. It's basically a fascist plan to seize control of the government and turn the US into a Christian theocracy. I'm not exaggerating. We're on the doorsteps of fascism. LMAO, only way to keep a Republican from finding something out is to put it in a big document.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.